you have drugs, you have human trafficking. The only way you're going to do it is to have a physical barrier, meaning a wall. And if you don't have that, then we're just not opening.
As the shutdown enters day 5, President Trump doubling down on his terms to get it back open. So does the president have a point? Democratic strategist Jason Nichols joins us now. Jason, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you disagree with the president. Why?
I absolutely disagree with the president. Number one, we have 650 miles of border barriers already. We spend $20 billion already on border security. We would have to seize private land in order to do so, to build further barriers. And in addition, this has environmental concerns. It just doesn't make sense. Putting $1 billion or $5 billion into a barrier really doesn't make sense when, in fact, it's going to take about $20 billion to build what the president is talking about, and an estimated $48 billion to maintain over the next 10 years. And to put that on the American taxpayer is unfair. It's shutting down the government. We have 800,000 families that don't know when their next paycheck is coming, and we need to really make a change here.
To respond, let's bring in RNC spokesperson Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh, what do you say to that?
Yeah, it's incredible. Jason's talking a lot differently than Democrats talked just 5 years ago, when literally all 54 Senate Democrats voted to double a portion of fencing on the southern border. All 54 Democrats voted to end the diversity visa lottery. All 54 Democrats voted to move to a merit-based system. And guess what? Voted for $40 billion in border security, more than 8 times what President Trump is asking for. What has changed is not the problem, because the problem's gotten worse. What has changed is it's President Trump, not President Obama. They want to deprive him of a political victory. And it's so sad that they are playing with the security of the American people here. It's hypocrisy at its finest.
Yeah, Jason, how does the Democratic Party reconcile that? The fact that the Trump plan is basically less than the Democratic plan from a few years ago, yet because it's the Trump plan, it is a no-go.
Well, first of all, Democrats are not against border security. As we've said, there are more cost-effective and better ways to do it. That's the main issue. Everyone's against human trafficking and drug trafficking. So we think that a border wall will be ineffective, number one. And number two, you can have things like scanners, which will cost $300 million, a fraction of what the president is talking about. And we would be very effective in stopping human trafficking and drug trafficking into the country.
But Kayleigh, they thought all those protections were good a few years ago. What changed in the last 3 years? Is it a 5-letter word that begins with a T?
Yes, it is. It's President Trump being in the White House. They want to deprive him of a political win. It's unfortunate. And Democrats, it's the biggest farce to say Democrats are for border security. No, they are not. The facts bear this out. In all 4 sectors where there is fencing, we have seen illegal crossings go down by 90%. It's common sense. If you have a physical barrier, it deters illegal immigration. It's unfortunate. It's sad when you have 10 terror-related suspects a day trying to cross our border, and Democrats will not secure it. This shutdown is right. President Trump is being strong here. He's holding firm. It's up to Chuck and Nancy to come to the table and secure the American people by securing our border.
The debate's not ending today, but we got to leave it here for now. Jason and Kayleigh, thank you so much. Hope you all had a great Christmas.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, 49 minutes.